Hey, Fuego. You know your mom is so fat that when she fell, no one laughed, but the ground cracked up.
Damn, dude. That's not cool.
Hey, Susie. You know your mom is so ugly that One Direction went the other way.
Well, at least my mama didn't fuck a critter.
Oh! Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie Fuego.
I'm Jaime and Fuego.
Here to complete the Critters loop that we began by reviewing the first Critters movie and then the rest of the next 3 Critters movies, and all leading up to the release of the brand new Shudder series, Critters: A New Binge.
Dare I say the Wheel of Crite?
No.
No.
No, don't say that. So this is basically an 8-episode series, as we knew and we hyped up ahead of time. What we didn't know is that it was 8 10-minute long episodes.
Some even less.
Some even less. So overall, it was about a 70-minute Critters movie, obviously shot by Sci-Fi as well, and presented in the 8 webisode format. This was garbage.
This was garbage.
I love Critters, but this was such a hot mess, hot garbage fire. I could not stand it. And it was clearly just a Sci-Fi movie that had been chopped up into 9 to 10 minute segments.
Yeah.
And oh my god, I wished I was one of the first people to die by the Krite's hands if I had to live in this world. So, bottom line, I didn't like it. Susie?
Okay, so before I even started watching it, I posted in our group chat. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start watching the Critters series. And thank you, Cecil. He saved me, I think, because he said it's really, he's like, it's really, sci-fi. If he had not said that, I would not have really been prepared. And so that's what I was prepared for. And it completely was Sci-Fi Channel fucking hot garbage. Like, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. It really reminded me of something of Sharknado.
Yeah. Worse.
Worse.
There wasn't as much effort put into this as there was in the Sharknado.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Like, the story... Oh,
well, we got your overall thoughts. Let's get Fuego's overall thoughts.
Hot garbage, that's what it was.
Okay, so I know what Sci-Fi E is, and I still wasn't prepared because of the fact that the Sci-Fi Channel has actually produced some pretty good stuff in the last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was them taking quite a few steps back, man. I really, really got to say.
I thought you were going to say this is them taking a dump, because that's realistically what happened.
It just didn't. It wasn't inspired in any way, shape, or form. I really don't know what to say in the fact that I chuckled a few times just at how bad it was, but I'm not necessarily sure it was in the moments where I was supposed to be laughing.
At around episode 3, when I realized what they were going to do because of the loud noise and the reaction to the loud noise, I was like, oh no, we better not see a different version of a Critters ball that I anticipate that we end up frickin' seeing. And I'm like, oh god, kill me now.
Kill me now.
Kill me. Come on, I'm here. Kill me. It's so bad.
Okay, Arnold.
Funny story.
All right.
So we kind of touched base earlier about how Netflix, they're trying a new thing about episodes they're trying to sporadically show. Not everyone's episode is the same. What's funny, my very first episode was one of the last, when they were on the ship, and then he finds out that what he is and all that.
What?
You
started with
at
episode?
the end?
Why?
That's the first episode that they showed me.
That's weird, because that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
You
have to select the first episode.
Nope,
Yeah,
I did. That was I hit play, and that was the first episode that they showed me.
So, you must be sharing an account with someone that started the series before you.
Nope, it's no.
Shudders.
It is
Well, that's
my
weird.
account.
there's no
It is
reason
my
I should have
account.
done
Trust me,
that.
it is
Doesn't make
my
any sense.
fucking
There's-
account.
yeah,
The money
doesn't
comes
make
out of
any
my
sense at
account
all.
my bank account every
Okay,
fucking month.
well,
so-
nonetheless.
Speaking of not making very much sense, we have kind of a story here, but it's really you have this kid whose mom is kind of hoey, and she's trying to get down with the delivery guy, and he's like just the first time we see him, he's like scarfing pizza before breakfast in his room, and then he goes out and his mom's trying to give him fruit, and Gilbert Gottfried is his grandfather, which was one of the only bits
that.
A very
of
old,
it.
subdued Gilbert Gottfried at
Yes.
this point.
Do you
Do you
want
need some Viagra?
Yeah. Be back before she wakes up.
That he made me laugh while he was there, and I also liked the couple scenes we got with the dude from Puppet Master, Littlest Reich, and Reno 911.
Thomas Lennon.
Oh, yeah!
Thomas Lennon.
No, he's
He's only
really
there for
excited
like
to
an
see him.
episode or two, so you have a couple cameos from some decent comedians and stuff in there. But really, the story boils down to the Krites come back to Earth for whatever reason. Now they sound like
Because there's something left behind.
yeah, and for whatever reason now the Krites talk more than like in any of the previous installments, and they're swearing.
Oh,
they're
yes, they
saying
do.
they're dropping f-bombs and saying shit and stuff
No,
like
they
that.
did that in the very first movie.
But not to
Not like
excessive.
this.
Not too excessive, but
this.
they did that.
God.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, because
They're
were
smoking cigarettes. They're watching porn.
One
they're
of
just
them's got a
doing
headset
all
on the whole time. One of them's got goggles on the whole time.
And for whatever
It's like,
reason, they all sound.
They're like minions
They all sound
now.
Japanese too.
They're crittens.
It was
Yeah.
almost like Japanese dubbing for them. It was just the strangest stuff. And there is like a president, prime minister, whatever, in a suit that is like sending them on
President Krite, yeah.
on this rescue mission. He tells them not to eat anything. Of course, they're Krites. They're going to start eating stuff.
Yeah.
They start out going to a vet hospital of sorts, and that's
Yeah,
where we meet
yeah.
the love interest of the main
Veterinary hospital.
That's where we meet the love interest of our main character, his weird sidekick friend who was trying to get him to be in a hot dog eating contest. Like, there is the most angsty high school stupidity in this. There's the
so
boyfriend of the girl he has the crush
Yes,
on
it
that is just
was.
giving him crap the whole time. Obviously going to be cheating on the girlfriend. I mean, I will say that there's at least like a little bit more violence at times, but it's just done
Stop
so
it.
poorly.
No, there's really not. When we get to the gore, I was
so
going to get into that.
sci-fi.
It's
It is
really
sci-fi.
bad. There is not one single drop of flowing blood in the
No.
entire
Absolutely
thing. It's
not.
all
it's
post
digital.
carnage,
Yeah,
if
whether
that.
it's green or
the
red.
green
However,
slime.
I will say that they did homage the Critters ball
Yeah.
from Critters 2, and I think this ball looks way better than
I
the
do
ball
too.
from
And
the
I-
second movie. Because the ball from the second movie, if you look at it, it just looks like a quilt
Yeah.
rolling because
Oh.
there's no actual faces.
But also-
This they made out of actual critters'
And the
heads
two people
and
that they
stuff.
Right.
go after, they were like, it's like we're unstoppable.
No, and then that like one really short moment of a new, I don't want to say species or like
Yeah.
type
Yeah,
of Krite.
It
that
looks like
is-
Cecil's shirt.
yeah, pretty much.
Yes, and it is introduced, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" Like when they showed,
It's
what,
introduced and
that-
taken away really
what
quickly.
does that one do?
yes, what does that one do? And it was awesome what it did, and then it was gone. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, so
That was the only like new thing.
I didn't realize that Krites were like Yoshis, where like different colored Krites do different things. Like,
Now you got the one to play Yoshi's Island, man.
Oh my god, but no, this was terrible. This it's Sci-Fi Channel. Sci-Fi Channel. That is the best way to
But it aired
explain
on
this
Shudder.
movie.
it's sci-fi,
I
but
don't
it's
care.
it's so low bar sci-fi, and they divided it up into 10-minute segments, 8 10-minute segments that are bloated with credits on
Oh,
both
gosh,
ends.
yeah.
And it's just a really, they made it, it's already a low grade sci-fi movie,
Yes.
but chopping it up like that made it feel like an even lower grade web series.
Look, I'm gonna tell
Like,
you, I'm glad that it was as short
God.
as it was.
Oh,
Like,
me too. After
Yeah.
watching it, I was one episode in and I was like,
Nope.
oh no.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I had high hopes.
Especially after getting reacquainted with the series and the fact that it's the first 2 films are quite good. Third film is the missing link for me. The fourth film, I know you didn't like it, but
Yeah.
I liked the fourth one in space. I thought it
Sci-Fi
was
had
pretty
to
good.
shoot 2 Critters movies and just sold one to Shudder.
It really makes me wonder if
It
they
feels
shot them
like
at the
it,
same
right?
time, back
It
to
had
back.
to.
That's what I'm worried
It
about.
had to.
And they had
There's
D.
no
Wallace
way.
for one, and we're like, we're gonna make this our tentpole Critters movie, and we're gonna but even and here's
really
the thing, they even made their eyes. Not only are their eyes so uber red compared to they were before, but now their eyes are indicative of life. So when one dies, the eyes fade and become normal critter eyes. Like, why? Why did you add that? It's so dumb. Like,
I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows.
And there's a lot of all right, so that I guess that's did we even get into the story, or is this still our overall thoughts?
No, we did the story.
Okay.
The
acting's
awful.
just awful.
I mean, fucking awful.
Except for I like some of the it's like when Thomas Lennon and Gilbert were on there, it was like both Gilbert and Thomas were in on the joke, and they knew kind of how to approach
Thomas Lennon had the best joke in the entire 8-episode series.
Yeah.
When it involves a bounty hunter that says, "This is a terrible body." That was hilarious to
really
me.
Funny because we do get
oh my god!
But boy, the use of green screen with those Australian bounty hunters, the bodies that they took when they crashed and they're like, how far are we from blah 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 blah, and they take out their GPS and they're running through, and you can totally tell they're green screen.
Yep. Yeah. Oh man, it's so bad, you guys. And the critters, like, sometimes they tried to match up the Krites with the sounds of their talking, but and sometimes it just didn't. They didn't even bother.
But it was deliberate, I think. It was just like I told you that they seemed like they were Japanese dubs. Like the critters sounded like their regular Krite voices were like Japanese. And then there's a couple others when they get on the ship and you meet the president's wife, who's like a prime minister or whatever, and she's got the lipstick on, almost like the gremlin from Gremlins 2.
Oh yeah, it does look like
it totally.
Well, but here's the thing. Like, the weird thing is, it feels like they shot this movie in sequence, and they tried to improve the puppeteering as they went. Because in the first episode, when the Krites talked, their mouths would barely move, and I'm like, it doesn't even look like they're talking. And then they got more animated as the series went on. So I think they're like, guys, we're gonna have to change things as we go because this ain't looking good.
And that's fucking terrible.
Yeah, and it didn't make a damn bit of difference.
So I mean,
I'm so disappointed.
Acting disappointing, story really wacky, and
effects. We have to mention.
Yeah.
I did mention earlier. There's no flowing blood.
Nope.
There is virtually no carnage until the last episode.
It was
everything is post carnage that looked so fake.
Everything in this movie was Sci-Fi Channel. I don't even. They are related to it in some way. I don't even give a fuck. Like, somehow they are like in this, invested into it some way. You cannot change my mind otherwise.
The thing is, though, I feel like there's an audience for this type of camp crap.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, there is.
Absolutely. I'm not doubting that, but I'm telling you, it's crap.
How terrible it is.
But this is a huge step down, even from Critters 3 and 4.
Yeah.
They were all theatrical, right? Or was 4 VOD?
No, I think they were. I think 3 and 4 might have been both.
This was an absolute
I'll have to double check.
Yeah, this was an absolute fucking.
It really was.
Show.
This is, and it. Outside of D. Wallace, I have much less hope for the. Because again, even though the other one is the sci-fi movie, this feels like it had to have been shot by sci-fi people and just sold to Shudder.
Well, it makes you wonder if it's directed, because doesn't the other one have like a different director than this, though?
This Critters one was made by the people behind Zombievers. The
right.
other one, the movie, is made by the guy that made The Cleanse.
Yeah, the kid.
So there's still hope.
The kid even had a Zombievers.
You like The Cleanse?
I love
cute little creatures.
Okay, I love The Cleanse.
So imagine that guy doing Critters. Well, no, but this was done by Zombievers.
Which you like, though.
The movie is done by the guy that did The Cleanse, that has Dee Wallace from the first movie. I still maintain a little bit of hope.
Yeah, which is what we have to do. But yeah, this is definitely a disappointment for as big.
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, this was definitely a disappointment for just the renewed fandom of sorts that I have for the Krites now, and because I can't ever say I was a big Critters fan, but they re-endeared themselves to me with the rewatching.
More
of the
so
series.
than the Ghoulies, more so than the Munchies, more so than all of those things.
Except
I love the Critters, except for the Gremlins.
Yeah.
Although I might have at once upon a time said I like Critters better than Gremlins.
Wow.
Obviously now, as an educated adult, I totally wouldn't say that. But
okay, there we go.
As a kid, I liked the gore in the Critters movies more than I got.
Because there
wasn't really any. It was just melting gremlins that we got.
I mean, Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2 wasn't gore, it was melting gremlins.
Okay.
Well, you got a melting gremlin in the first one too.
Yeah. Well, in the fountain, that was always my favorite bit, but it was still green.
Yeah, so good. So. I don't care.
Anyway, I think that's as much as we can say.
Yes, I think that.
Well, did we actually? Look, I don't care if we spoil this, but
spoilers.
It's so stupid. This part is a spoiler, guys. If you actually want to watch it, don't watch this part. But
this is a spoiler, so pause.
But it's worth mentioning because the whole story hinges on the fact that this main fat kid character, the reason he's always hungry and always eating, and the reason that kids from school call his mom a whore is because on the evening of Y2K, his mom hooked up with the President Critter. The President Critter banged a human, and she had this kid
fucking ball with teeth.
This big.
And she's like, "Why don't you roll down on me?"
Roll down on me.
He
rolls down on her, and then they have sex. She has this kid.
Who
is this fat kid who I'm like, and when I saw this, and when they revealed the fact that he got affected by the same sounds that the Krites do, I was like, we better not see a human-sized ball. Like, this kid should be able to fillet himself if he balls up. And lo and behold, in the third act, he rolls on to the hot dog eating contest scene as a ball and pops up, and he pulls out, like, the reveal is so stupid. Like, the president is telling him that he's part critter, and his mom is there. Yeah, his mom is trying to convince him that he's not, and he's like, wait, my teeth, and like, so these are fake teeth, and she's like, yeah, well, it's just a weird thing, and then my contacts, he's like, so my eyes are supposed to look this way, and then like he's got and he's like, what about the poison quills on your back, and he's like, that's not supposed to be, like, that's not normal back hair. It's like, oh, kill me.
And the worst
part is stab me with all the weapons.
It's so Sharknado. It's so terrible.
Well, and the worst part is that his salute of a mom is still kind of attracted to the president and doesn't even. What is it that he says to her? He's like, "What, you looking good, or baby, or some crap like that." Like, you mentioned it in the group thread. I wish I could remember.
Yeah. Like, he's like, "You're hot, so like, fuck me, you're so hot," or something like that. Like,
we can't remember, but
I can't remember what it was. It was terrible.
Silly.
It's
the
what
fact
it
that
was.
she's still like kind of feeling it, still like kind of wanting a little bit of that critter, that critey.
That critey.
All right.
I think that's as much as we need to go into.
Oh, and remember, he eats the guy's head too.
We're good.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, God, that was terrible.
So stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, and they kill all the bounty hunters. They're like not even friends with the bounty hunters.
We're done with this.
We'll cut it there.
We're done.
That's it.
Yeah, let's just leave it be.
Guys, if you really want to give it a try, if you like critters above all else, then maybe give it a try. But this was a worthless effort. I will never revisit this.
I really do want to kill these Krites.
Although, if it was in a movie form on Blu-ray, I would add it to the collection. But I would just never watch it again. So I'm a completist that way. So
drinking game.
We're gonna call it there. Thank you guys very much for watching and following us along on this Critters journey. There is one more Critters movie coming in 2019, starring Dee Wallace. I'll be all about that because I'm a little credit out at this point. So hopefully we'll have some time.
Well,
but that's gonna do it.
Yes.
So, of course you are. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Cecil Laird.
I'm Susie Fuego.
Gracias, Jaime.
And remember, stay scared.